from the Liberia Broadcasting System in Pinsville. Good evening and welcome to LNTV News Live. 30 minutes of news about Liberia, Africa, and beyond. I'm Cecilia Clark anchoring tonight's edition, and these are the top stories. Ministry of Education officially observes the 102nd National Decoration Day as scores of Liberians turn up at various grave sites in remembrance of their fallen loved ones. Ministry of Health dispels rumor of news of a suspected Ebola outbreak in Lofa County. The lawyer representing the Associate Justice Kabina Janet in the ongoing impeachment trial is calling for the bill of impeachment to be dismissed, but the presiding Chief Justice Francis Copper says dismissal of the trial is not an option. And away from Liberia, at least 10 people have died and many more I fear trapped after a building continuous school collapsed in the Nigerian city of Lagos. These plus many more interesting stories all packaged for your viewing. But first, let's take a short break to be right back. Thanks for rejoining us. The Ministry of Education on Wednesday celebrated 102nd National Decoration Day. The program was held at the Providence Baptist Church in Monrovia. Student Vanessa Khan read the presidential proclamation.
Valuable contribution made to society in the state for the continued advancement of the Liberian state. And whereas it is also vital as citizens and foreign residents should remember and cherish the love and affection, the joy and constant caring which existed between family members and friends who once lived so dearly with them before their death. And whereas the legislature of the Republic of Liberia, realizing that important events in the history of our nation should be constantly kept in the minds of citizens and youth of our day, to inspire them to larger measure of service and patriotism. Date by an act approved on October 24, 1916, declared the second Wednesday of March in each year to be known as Decoration Day and to be observed as a national holiday. Now, therefore, I, George Manulia, President of the Republic of Liberia, by virtue of the authority in me vested, do hereby declare and proclaim the second Wednesday, which is March 13, 2019, in theory as Decoration Day.
Meanwhile, the pastor of the Providence Baptist Church, Reverend Samuel Reeves, delivered a sermon under the theme, Life is a Temporary Assignment.
As we think about this nation, as we think about this Memorial Day or Decoration Day, it's not just about those people who have died and counted. No, that also, but not only will help us remember how well they have lived. From what's Memorial, each one of you have to remember and to say to yourself, Lord, I know how long you promised me to live. 70 is our reasonable strength will give you that. But it doesn't matter how long I have lived. I want my life to be meaningful. Because one person can make a difference. Amen? Amen. So as we leave here today, it doesn't matter who we are, it doesn't matter what the name, brand name, it doesn't matter which county we come from, it doesn't matter what we try, it doesn't even matter what religion we come from. I see a people that are awesome sisters here. You can live life for God's glory, so that at the end of your life, the Bible says that great models which all of us well done.
The Ministry of Health has dispelled rumors of the news of a suspected Ebola case in Lofa County. According to our correspondent, the news of a suspected Ebola patient who reportedly escaped from Telawea Hospital in Vanjaman recently brought fear amongst citizens of Lofa County. It was rumored that the patient traveled from Congo to the Republic of Guinea and later landed in Kwadungbonu district in Lofa County. Our correspondent said there was an exercise carried out in 3 counties on assessments conducted by the Health Ministry to test the preparedness of the various health teams. He said it also involved partners and citizens in case of any report of life-threatening diseases. The Chief Medical Officer of Liberia, Dr. Francis Carter, named the counties where the tests were being conducted as Lofa, Bank, and Nimba counties. The lawyer representing Associate Justice Kabina Janet in the ongoing impeachment trial is calling for the bill of impeachment to be dismissed. In the words of Councillor Arthur Johnson, Associate Justice Janet should be acquitted instead of being tried. He made the disclosure when he presented legal arguments in plenary of the Liberian Senate.
Assuming there was a felonious offense, the period of limitation is 7 years, depending on the nature of the offense. When? For a first-degree felony? When? For a first-degree felony? It's 7 years. Second-degree felony? It's 3 years. Therefore, the entire submission and the bill of impeachment should be dismissed and the respondent be acquitted as a matter of law. When?
Meanwhile, the presiding Chief Justice Francis Copper says it is unconstitutional to dismiss the proceedings. According to the Chief Justice, dismissal is not an option.
This is not a judicial trial. I continue to say that I preside here not of my own will, but because the highest law in our land requires that I do so. I swore to protect the Constitution and the statutory laws of Liberia when I accepted the job of becoming the Chief Justice of this nation. Now, the question is, can the presiding officer pass on the application made requesting the dismissal of this legislative proceeding? My answer is no.
Meanwhile, Chief Justice Francis Copper says all allegations leveled against Associate Justice Kabina Janet will be tried and tested.
To make the determination of whether or not the allegations levied against the justice warrants impeachment. I do know that the honorable ladies and gentlemen of the Liberian Senate have been sitting, listening to the case, including the evidence adduced, and there's no doubt in my mind that at the end of the day, they will make the appropriate determination.
Liberia's Chief Justice Francis Copper. Deputy Education Minister Elizana Dupol says the government of Liberia remains committed in ensuring that the tutorials for students that are to sit the WASC exams go on smoothly. According to Minister Dupol, the government is also looking to establishing labs for students to do their practicals. He made the disclosure in an ELBC interview.
We've been encouraging our students. We, as I said, we are paying for this tutorial. We have gathered teachers from different schools so that we pay them every week, as they teach our students. This is one of the things that it's laboratory. They are very important, and government is doing everything to make sure that we establish laboratory in the major city centers in these counties. And also, the test actually doesn't have practical. You still have the theory, but you just have to explain. For instance, if they draw the human body, the skeleton, they show the arrow where the heart is. You as a student will tell the examiner or the testing center that this is the heart. And you pass or you explain. So you are theoretically explaining the process. Even chemistry, you are explaining the steps. You are not going through a physical laboratory test.
Liberians Wednesday gathered at various burial sites around the country to claim the graves of their dead relatives, friends, and loved ones. On the second Wednesday of each year, National Decoration Day is celebrated across the country. Rachel Colley visited the Glazon Cemetery in Montserrat County, from where she filed this report.
Some of the people were singing while others were busy with their decoration of the graves of the fallen ones. Emmanuel Mayonga, as he was putting tiles on his grandmother's grave, said resurrection of the dead has given him hope to rejoice.
According to some traditions, some people are just doing, they feel happy because the dead one is in the front of their Lord. So on that day when they come to do their decoration, they feel so happy because they know the Bible says when the person goes home, they go to rest. So in the resting place, they need joy. So because of that, they come and have the place clean up and have some fun time with people around the area.
In remarks, Wesley Wodgler and Emmanuel Anderson cautioned others to avoid excessive drinking while commemorating the day.
The message that I have for them is, or for the both of us, we should keep courage, remain strong, not to make you. One day we shall rejoice. When we do it, you must be yourself.
National Decoration Day brings sanity to grave sites across the country. The day was passed into law to be observed once each year on the second Wednesday of March as a national holiday. From the Glazon Cemetery outside Monrovia, I am Rachel Colley reporting.
Rachel Colley with that beautiful report. At the same time, Liberians on Wednesday converged at various grave sites in commemoration of Decoration Day. The day is intended and set aside by the legislature to ensure that Liberians remember and pay homage to their fallen friends, family members, and loved ones. Here's how Trapper Leo and Wilson Duma analyzed the day from the JCN Howe Cemetery in Painesville.
Yeah, this program has been arranged by the government so that we can take the day to remember the dead. So it's good.
But all through the years, the gravesite the grass is growing, and nothing is being done until this day. What do you think?
No, I think we need to take another approach.
Okay, what is that?
That every now and then we clean the grave.
You're talking about Liberian people now?
Yeah, the Liberian people to clean the grave instead of only to wait for March 15th. I think we should be thinking about that.
Okay.
Oh, he was a very smart boy. He was somebody who you could see the future in him. You could see him that he was being somebody to bring life to this country.
The age? What is age?
This year he would have been 42.
42, very young.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you remember about him? What did he do? Did you?
I mean, we were united. He was a junior brother to me. I took care of them. He was respectful. He was smart. He did everything that we asked him to do in the house, and so he would just be removed for that.
Well, if you just join us, it's a reminder you are watching LNTV News Live, and these are the top stories. Ministry of Education officially observes the 102nd National Decoration Day as scores of Liberians turn up at various grave sites in remembrance of their fallen loved ones. Ministry of Health dispels rumor of news of a suspected case of Ebola outbreak in Lofa County. The lawyer representing Associate Justice Kabina Janet in the ongoing impeachment trial is calling for the bill of impeachment to be dismissed, but the presiding Chief Justice Francis Copper says dismissal of the trial is not an option. And away from Liberia, at least 10 people have died and many more are fear trapped after a building containing a school collapsed in the Nigerian city of Lagos. We take a short break to be right back.
Pleasant welcome to the sports, where we start with news that mobilizations committee recently set up by the Youth and Sports Ministry and the LFA. And what they've been doing, the Youth and Sports Minister Zilda Wilson has said the committee is doing tremendously well in ensuring that the Liberian national football team gets all of the needed support as it gets up for that crucial match against Democratic Republic of Congo. The Lone Star will travel to Kinshasa to face the Congolese on March 24, according to CAF. But Youth and Sports Minister said though the mobilization committee, which has not been seen in the public, they have been collecting or raising some cash that will help the national football team in its concluding fixture. Speaking to this station today, the Youth and Sports Minister said the committee headed by the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Nathaniel Mange, has been able to raise over 100,000 United States dollars for the national football team. He said the committee will make public its fundraising in subsequent time. 16 high schools will Monday be battled in a 4-day football and kickball championship. The tournament is in observance of World Water Day, organized by Water A Liberia in collaboration with the National High School Sports. According to the organizers, besides the football and kickball championship, an essay competition will be staged amongst the schools that will be invited from Maserat County. The 2019 World Water Day Football and Kickball Championship and essay competition is held under the auspices of Water A Liberia and will involve the defending football champions in the National High School games last year, Wawa Mission High School. among others. Elsewhere, quickly, Paris Saint-Germain's forward Neymar is on ongoing investigation by the UEFA for comments the Brazilian made after his side's Champions League defeat to Manchester United last week. He described referee Dermot's comments late penalty decision made after reviewing the video assistant as a disgrace on social media. Neymar was watching or injured as United came back from the first leg defeat to win 3-1 in PSG, and the UEFA says it will make a determination after its investigation with the player. Well, Cristiano Ronaldo turned water into wine last evening as he scored a hat-trick, the 8th of his hat-trick in the UEFA Champions League, inspiring Juventus to come back from the 2-0 deficit to win 3-0 at home to ensure that Juventus progressed to the quarter-final stage of this year's UEFA Champions League. And those 3 goals make it 124 for the former World Footballer of the Year. Manchester City, on the other hand, trashed Schalke 04 7-0 last evening to wrap up their progress to the quarter-final stage of the Champions League. And the 2 last matches in the last 16 stage are taking place tonight, and Liverpool is taking on Bayern Munich, and the first leg in our match finished 0-0, and it's also a same score between Barcelona and Lyon, 0-0, and the 2 sides are at the new camp facing each other. The 2 winners will join the rest to move to the draw, which will take place on Friday, and then the guys will know who their opponents in the quarterfinals will be. That's it for the sports.
Many thanks for rejoining us. I'm Cecilia Clark anchoring. We continue with our developments. Former Vice President Benny Warner is calling for a day of national remembrance. The former Vice President said the National Day of Remembrance will be celebrated in memory of Liberia's fallen heroes and heroines. He made the assertion Wednesday during the decoration of late President William R. Talbot's grave at the Palm Grove Cemetery in Monrovia.
National observation, a national day of celebration, of a day of remembrance. It should be a national day of remembrance for the falling down of these stalwart, great servants of the people of Liberia. I want to thank those of you who have seen it fit to make this preservation and to make this available for us to come by and pay our due respects. So rest in peace. WRT, rest in peace, my friend. You and I were colleagues, you and I worked together. You were speedy number 1, I was speedy number 2.
Amen.
And we were working to raise the country from mat to mattresses and from mattresses to higher heights.
Amen.
And you led the banner. You led the motivation for this country to be motivated. So the dream, your dream and your hopes may be deferred, but it's not dead. Your dream will come alive in God's own time. May peace of God and His grace and mercy be upon all of us. and God bless you.
Benny Warner at the Palm Grove Cemetery in Monrovia. The Al-Noor Foundation for Islam and Development is organizing a national Quranic memorization competition. The competition is meant to develop the skills of students who have interest in reciting the Quran. Ibrahim Fofana is the director of this initiative. He's been explaining more to LNTV.
The Al-Noor Foundation for Islam and Development in Liberia is organizing an auspicious national Quranic memorization competition at the theater of the Monrovia City Hall in Monrovia on March 17, 2019. The competition is the first of its kind in our country's history, as it will be conducted outside the mosque. 15 students from 5 Quranic memorization centers are expected to take part in this year's competition. It is our hope that this competition will bring motivation, value, awareness to this generation and the generations to come to develop their skills, talent in reciting the Quran. The competition is also expected to attract thousands of Liberians who are long yearning to see the Quranic competition at the level that meets international standard. It is also a great opportunity for non-Muslims to listen to the recitation of the Quran at least once. God willing, this competition will continue. This competition will continue annually as part of our organization major undertakings. The Al-Noor Foundation for Islam and Development in Liberia is constantly engaging in activities that bring value and dignity to Islam and humanity as a whole. The organization has implemented several programs including cleaning, sanitizing and rehabilitating mosques, charity works, teaching and training of revert Muslims, inviting international scholars to Liberia, including Sheikh Ahmed Awal from USA, Mufti Ismail Meng from Zimbabwe.
Ibrahim Fofana. We now take our foreign development. At least 10 people have died and many more are fear trapped after a building containing a school collapsed in the Nigerian city of Lagos. The school, which was on top of the 4-story building in Ata, Fiji on Lagos Island, had more than 100 students, a rescued official told the BBC. About 40 students have been pulled out alive, the official said. The building had been identified as distressed and listed for demolition, Lagos building officials told the BBC. The collapse happened at about 10:00 hours local time. There were frantic scenes at the site as rescuers and local men searched for survivors, and family members crowded the areas in the hope of finding their loved ones alive. Well, viewers, on that note, this is how we come to an end of tonight's edition of LNTV News Live. But before we go, a recap of the major stories. Ministry of Education officially observes the 102nd National Decoration Day as scores of Liberians turn up at various grave sites in remembrance of their fallen loved ones. Ministry of Health dispels rumor of news of a suspected Ebola outbreak in Lofa County. The lawyer representing Associate Justice Kabina Janet in the ongoing impeachment trial is calling for the bill of impeachment to be dismissed, but the Chief Justice of Liberia, Francis Kapoor, says dismissal is not an option. And away from Liberia, at least 10 people have died and many more are fear trapped after a building continuous school collapse in the Nigerian city of Lagos. Many thanks to our entire production team for making this edition a success. Many thanks also to you for viewing. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Cecilia Clark. I angered. Good night.
LNTVRadio.com.
National Toiletries Incorporated, Liberia-owned and reliable toiletries company, specialized in advanced quality toiletries assorted products such as Kumba tissue.